Anime Expo. In my mind for years, it was the most important convention ever known to humanity. Everyone you could possibly think of was going to be there. You would get major announcements before anyone else could, you could see the exhibits and cool things that were exclusive for this period of time. Ever since I've gone to conventions in 2022, Anime Expo has always lurked in my mind. I've gone to many local conventions and slightly big ones, but Anime Expo? That was the one. And in 2025, I finally got that chance. And there were no Love Life guests coming, god damn it. Anyway, my Anime Expo adventure was certainly something. And would you believe that the craziest stuff happened before I even arrived? Take it away, me Noodle. This is day 1. I'm in the darkness right now. My flights actually got canceled, so my flight got canceled, and the one it wants me to send me to is one that's way later. Yeah, so my flight got canceled. Here's the deal. Me and my friend that I was rooming with were planning to get to the airport at similar times so we can both Uber at the same time to the hotel because it's too far. Because of this change, however, I had to get there earlier, which made me get a very early head start for my day. We got a flight change to 10 a.m. Oh, I got my flight changed to 10 a.m. I'm not sure about. Yeah, instead of leaving at 12, I'm gonna be there at 10, so I gotta be there way earlier. Yeah, here's hoping things go well, and I gotta get ready now, so it's gonna be a bit more hectic, but I'm sure it'll be fun. Hello, it's me again. My hair looks really bad right now. Yeah, we're almost all set. We're almost all ready to go. Yeah, we're almost done. This was not how I was expecting the day to go, but I'm gonna get there early. Yeah, let's see what's in store. After arriving at the airport, I chilled there for a bit before my flight went flying. A little update from yours truly. We're at the airport, and we just got some food, and now I'm just gonna be waiting here. I literally got nothing else better to do right now. It's gonna be a long hour before it's 9:50, so for the remainder of time, maybe the free time. Has not responded yet, so I'm not exactly sure what's if he's waking up, if he's got the update or not, but hopefully he does see it, because unfortunately it's gonna dictate how we play this, so here's how it's looking for everyone else's perspective. They're just doing their own thing. I should probably start using my microphone soon. Just a quick FYI, I haven't gone on the plane since 2022 when I went to VidCon, which you can see here in a vlog that my friend Spacey made. That was when I was using an iPhone with 16 gigabytes of storage and could not take any photos or videos. This time though, I had all the recording footage I needed, and let me tell you, the feeling of a plane going high is so cool. Now, after I land, I was going to explain what happened bar for bar because it was extremely chaotic, but past me had some future vision, so I'm just going to let the scene play out for itself. Hello, my name is Noodle, fuck Los Angeles. Hello, I just got back from hotel. It's me, Noodle. Alright, that's really bad. Anyway, so, I'm gonna put the camera here. I need to get set going here. Okay, so, I need to tell you everything that's been happening right now. Right when I get there, it's just crowded. It's going crazy. I need to get ready real quickly. Okay, where's my luggage? My luggage is right here. Okay. So, also, ooh, this place looks kind of cool actually. Holy shizzle. Alright, anyway, hey guys, my name's Noodle. I think I already said that. Did I ever say that? Who knows? Anyway, I need to get stuff ready. So, I only have my microphone with me. My microphone is not with me right now. Oh, son of a bitch. Shit! Not gonna lie, everything was kind of pissing me off. Actually, I'm gonna sit down in this chair. I'm gonna sit down in this chair very peacefully. Look, it's very peaceful. Anyway, me and my friend met up and we were ready. After we activated our badges, which I did not do, there were many errors I made. Firstly, we arrived on Thursday instead of Wednesday. Rookie mistake, I know. We missed out on a day of events, and by the time we got to the convention, it was 6 o'clock and everything was closed. Very cool. But we did get to experience the Anime Expo buses that transported us to the convention. And I have things to say about it for now, but let's just enjoy the clips. Do they got Dunkin' Donuts? Bro, what kind of... We got Shake Shack and Dunkin' Donuts next to us.
And Tokyo Fried Chicken right there.
If we get back here about around 10, we can totally just eat. And no Uber or anything like that. Wait, okay, if we want to go... We should probably head to the other building for the exhibitors hall and stuff. This low-key overwhelming, goddamn.
Yeah, there's so much to do.
Okay, so we really just gotta go exit out that way.
Yeah.
Okay, at least we got our wristbands at least. What the fuck do you mean entrance this way? Bro, where the hell is we going? Everything closed. Everything closed. You got a bit too late, but we'll make do. We always do. Red light! Green light! Ain't nobody falling for that! Okay, so this clip has a really funny context. We were getting drinks and we had trouble deciding who was gonna pay, so we told the cashier we were gonna use our card at the same time and see whose card registered first. It was really cool, but then we realized our card info is in the video, so I'm just gonna give you the audio.
3, 2, 1, go.
Which one? Was that me? Which one? Well, I can't tell.
One.
Okay,
Whoever's card it is gets to tip me $1.
It's fine.
Shit, what? Mine was under yours, dog. What the fuck? He hit the center.
Alright, update from yours truly. We have no idea what we're doing. Everything's enclosed. I just want to eat. While the exhibit hall and artist alley were closed, the entertainment hall was open, and luckily it still had some cool stuff, because if we couldn't experience anything, I think I'd cry. Wait, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 9. That's not bad. That's not bad.
No arena, no costume. That's not the first.
Yo, they got Bernie. They got Bernie. They have the game, the actual console. Oh my, what?
Dreamcast and GameCube.
Oh.
Yeah. Let me just slide through here.
From like.
They're from like that weave stuff, right? That I'm totally not a fan. Oh, sorry. Oh my goodness.
Rest in peace, Aqua.
I think the games are over here.
Yeah, they got light sticks.
Wait, oh damn. Wait, the stuff below. Wait, hold up.
Shit.
Bro, look at her. Look at her dumb ass. I got bad news.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I grab all times. That's such a steal. That's such a steal. Oh, they all love my CDs. Oh, it's for photo shoots. That's actually kind of cool. Albedo. The Yohane.
Oh shit.
Damn, there's a whole performance going on. Wait, so where the hell do we come from? Okay, I believe you.
I'm really good.
If we do miss our flight, ride though, we're kind of fucked. After that, we ended day 1 missing pretty much everything, but we did eat at the Shake Shack next to us, so we got some sort of meal. But then our troubles began when we went to the hotel. I don't necessarily like to be negative, but this hotel was not the best. Firstly, no smart TV. We couldn't connect our phone to YouTube, and that instantly knocked down a few points. Then there was a lot of noise outside, which actually it's Los Angeles, that makes sense. It's my first time just coming off guard. But then the worst part happened. The bathroom. The bathroom is an ancient part of any hotel. If you fuck up the bathroom, you will in fact go to hell. Now the toilet wasn't even bad, it was the shower that was fucked. When you take a shower, you expect the floor to get wet. That's expected. Water splashing everywhere. Now, do you expect the entire bathroom floor to be flooded? No. No, you do not. The hotel I was at during SoccerCon did not have this issue, so why the fuck was the entire bathroom floor flooded with water that seeped into the carpet outside? Genuinely god awful. I am very disappointed in you. Okay, next day. Hey there, I just took a shower. It's the little guy.
Bro.
Oh, this is it. We're gonna lose all our money.
God.
Actually, I'll take it, thank you. It's a free fan, dude. I'm taking the free fan. There's a whole line for Omo Cat.
What the fuck?
Man, what the flip? Oh, sorry. Fucking won that shit. I'm the GOAT. Hello there. I'm back. We're eating lunch right now. I don't know if we got plans, but that's pretty much it. How many people? Goddamn. Oh yeah, I didn't get a video clip of it, but I met Resident at the Artist Alley. We were both planning to go to Anime Expo, so we had a little meetup and it was cool. Hello there. We got a lot of shit here. So let's take a look what we got here. Oh my goodness, we got some stuff. I got my charger. Alright, so we gotta take our stuff out because we're depositing. We're gonna try and head to Little Tokyo. And look at this shit. I got a fucking card. I got a round 1 card for participating in that crane game, so it's really cool. I probably said it already, but my friend and I decided to take a little detour to Little Tokyo after hearing that it had some Sega related items. While there were many panels that we wanted to go to, we did have the JoJo panel in our sights. The plan was to go to Little Tokyo, head back, hop on the bus, and head to the convention. That plan failed, but that's a spoiler. Oh, they got dogs too. They got Pokemon, let's go Pokemon. Oh wait, it's Pokemon like trading cards. It's not Pokemon plushie or anything like that. That's the Sega store. No, it's so long. Dude, they got for selling. We have to go there. What they got you, bro? They got your ass. Oh, dude. Shit. Whoa. Dude. Looks like the backside is. Oh my goodness. What size am I? What size do you think I am?
Asian size?
I'll let you guys know that in the Asian size, runs a little bit big, so an XL would actually be an American large.
Oh, okay, wait.
Okay, so probably.
What? I mean, I am Asian, so like, what do you think? Now, unfortunately, I don't have any clips of this because of how everything went to shit after this. Firstly, the bus did not arrive to get us to the convention. We kept checking the satellite maps and there was no update. Buses stayed in the same spot for over 20 minutes in a random location, and it turned out they changed the buses to go down certain routes, but other buses to go down a different route. See, it's weird. They had different buses for different routes around Los Angeles, and they mixed some of them up so the bus that was supposed to go on my route went to a different route, and because of that, we didn't know when the bus was going to arrive. And when we eventually got there, the panel was full. Now, before anyone says anything, this was our first time at Anime Expo. We grossly underestimated how many people go and how many panels get filled up instantly. That one's on me. It wasn't on my friend though, he doesn't go to these things. Before Anime Expo even arrived, we were hyped to go see the JoJo panel because it was the one thing we're both into and wanted to see what was going to happen. Still, when we got kicked out along with a shit ton of other people, you can imagine our disappointment. And my friend did not take it well, he needed a breather, and we both went our separate ways for a bit just to chill. And then I realized, oh fuck, I need footage for my Love Life videos. Yeah, I was gathering interviews for both an Aqua video and a Sif video that's being delayed forever due to how big it is. Since I was completely alone, I was able to get in contact with some friends on Twitter and I interviewed them. It was really cool. I also came across some other Love Life fans out of nowhere. It was a bizarre sequence of events. Anyway, after a breather, me and my friend reunited and we ate hamburgers and pizza. Why is it pink Orpal, bruh? It wasn't exactly the best day, but it was one to end on a heartfelt note. Mostly because the JoJo panel didn't have any important info, so thank God. The day started out pretty early. My friend was asleep and I had to go do stuff in the morning. Firstly, I had a meet and greet with Barry. For those unaware, she's a Kagai idol, and while I wasn't able to attend her performance, I was able to get her autograph. I just so happened to get there early and was the first one she met, which I did not expect, but I got a Shaki. I kind of fucked around after, just getting interviews and hanging out with friends until my friend woke up and came to the convention, and when he did, that's when the big thing happened. The maid cafe. We went to a maid cafe. We joked about it initially, but then I straight up bought it because it'd be fun. And it was in fact an experience. A good one at that.
Sorry. I'm gonna say labo labo minale, and then you're gonna do moi pee. Okay?
Oh, man.
You gotta cure the poison that's in it, otherwise you can't eat it.
After a bit of time, I forgot what happened, so here's some photos and stuff. I met some friends, got separated from some friends, wandered around for a bit, and eventually ended up at Midnight Mahjong somehow. Don't ask. Also, I got caught in a random IG story. Do you see how lost I am? I saw a lot of people though, like people I see on Twitter randomly being here. I talked to Blick for a little bit, and it was cool seeing all the stuff happening, like karaoke. Anyway, I went back to the hotel after that. The final day was something. The Love Life meetup was happening, my friend was asleep, I got Dunkin' Donuts, and I went to the convention to get some last minute reviews and other stuff. I met up with my friend Ash and another friend Mio, and he'll be important later. We can't just fuck around for a little bit until the Love Life meetup happens. Here's the dilemma though. My flight leaves at around 4:50 p.m. The Love Life meetup is around 2. My friend is at the hotel chilling until we gotta leave. It takes around 30 minutes to get to the airport from the hotel, so I had to plan my moves very smoothly or else I'd be stuck in the land of Los Angeles, which I was not down for. When the Love Life meetup actually happened, I was on a timer. I got some interviews, saw some really cool cosplays, had someone know who I was. I mentioned it in my Aqua video, but this was so fucking cool. Usually I get in contact with people before I meet them, but this was a random person I didn't know who knew me, and they did actually comment on my post about Anime Expo, but I didn't know it was them until way later on. I know it's not the biggest thing, but being known is such a weird but amazing feeling. My friend Whis told me to let him know if I got noticed by anyone, and I was waiting for that moment, and it happened at the near end of the convention. Such a cool feeling. Anyway, I had to dip immediately right as they were taking photos. I couldn't even be in the photos. It was so tragic. Next time I'm making my flight go like 12 a.m. or something. We were cutting it close. It was getting close to 3 p.m. I didn't know how long TSA was gonna take. I had to leave. But I took a picture with one of the anime men first. I said bye to Ash, and while I was saying bye to Mio, he said something crazy. Yo, I can drive you to your hotel if you'd like. Now firstly, a disclaimer. Stranger danger. You should heed that. You should listen to that. I've known this dude IRL at max for 2 days. Realistically, this was not the smartest idea, but it was a cool idea, so anyway, we drove over to the hotel. Yo, if you're seeing this, I trust you with my life. It was fun hanging out with you. Quick Noodle vlog. Wanna say hi? Yo, alright, we need to get out of here. Just immediately, right now. So I'm gonna head over to the road, get an Uber, and we'll get to say goodbye to the goat that helped me with all the interviews. Thank you so much. Chaz, Twitter. Twitter face over here. Yep, that next turn. Oh, she's cute. Wait, hold up. I got just like she's coming in. Anyway, I hopped off, talked to my friend, then we immediately Ubered to the airport.
I was fiending for it.
Bro, we'll me out there right now, bro.
Oh shit, dog.
Bro, it's so, intrusive thoughts, bro.
Intrusive thought. We could just take this car right now.
No. We can drive. I can drive. You can drive.
Yeah. Damn. Bro really trusts us that much.
Dude, he didn't even lock the car. Someone else to open this door right now and kill us.
Oh my gosh, imagine like...
Unfortunately, we take different airlines, so we have to say goodbye earlier than expected. I go through TSA, and I have close to 20 minutes before my flight begins boarding. Do not do what I did. And now, my journey ends. What did we learn? I don't know, nothing. This was my first time at a huge convention with barely any people I knew. At SakuraCon, I knew a lot of people since it was in the Pacific Northwest, but I was going to unknown spaces, new places I'd never been to. It was kinda cool. I've never been in a convention this big, this huge. I felt like an ant not even being able to attend a single panel because of how filled up everything was. There were events in this building, another building, and a building that's a bit far away. Anime Expo seems like one of those events you cannot 100% complete, and it makes for a very unique experience. I would love to go again with more friends. It wasn't perfect, but I feel that's something that everyone should experience. The one thing I can safely say after all this though, I fucking hate Los Angeles.
Yo, resident.
Hey guys, RAX right now.
Oh, it's over here? Hey, make sure to sub Mr. Resident.
No, sub the NoodleGirl. Sub the NoodleGirl.
I'm gonna put that outro. Right? I'm gonna put that outro.
Put that
Yeah.
out. You putting this in the fucking video.